So it's been a few days. I apologize for my leave away from YouTube. I know it's only been like 3 days, but there's been a lot going on in the background. So I've been doing my best to try to balance things out. So again, I hope you guys understand. I'm doing my best. However, this is actually like my fourth time trying to record this video in particular, and I'm kind of frustrated with that, especially because I have extremely little time and I'm already out of town. So it's like, I gotta try to get something up for you guys. So again, I'm very sorry that there's been a delay with videos. This video in particular that I'm recording now is actually a video that was requested for me to do by my friend Prodigy XCD. If you guys watch any kind of Kingdom Hearts YouTube, you already know who he is, so he needs no introduction. However, he wanted me to make a video talking about the Secret Reports of Kingdom Hearts 3. The Secret Reports is something that he feels that more people need to know about, and I completely agree with this. As somebody who's made a ton of videos regarding material from the Secret Reports, I completely agree on his stance on needing more people to know about how important the Secret Reports really are. There's so many different kinds of things that are talked about within these Secret Reports that I feel like some people are over here theorizing and having questions about that the Secret Reports already kind of answer. And this video isn't really about telling you what's inside the Secret Reports. That would defeat the purpose of, what I'm trying to do. What I'm mainly just trying to do is tell you that they're important and why. I already have a video, in fact, of me going over the Secret Reports, and you guys can always catch that on the card up top, or if not, down in the description box below. That way you guys can just straight up just see the Secret Reports, and I'll read them out to you and everything, all that stuff. I've already done that. But there's so many theories that I've made and discussions I've done regarding stuff that comes from these Secret Reports that, in a way, it kind of makes me feel like it's hard to really talk about the future of Kingdom Hearts without really knowing what's there. There's so much going on in the Secret Reports and so many things that are implicated that it's hard to really even know where the Kingdom Hearts series is going from here without that knowledge. There are so many things that are brought up. It's funny because when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and we got things about like Subject X, that finally gave us little implications that, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross is going to end soon. And it is. Now we officially have the confirmation from Nomura that it is going to be ending this year. And one, I'm already happy about that. I'm sad to see it go, but I'm ready to see it end at the same time. The Key series has gone on for a very long time, but thanks to the Secret Reports and the whole thing with Subject X, we now have reason to believe that she is Scold up from amongst the Union leaders, and which that in itself just applies. Okay, yeah, we already knew mainly because of Laurium, Marluxia already being in the present day alongside Ventus being there in Birth by Sleep. Something has to happen to take these people from the past and in that other world line, because in Union Cross they take place on a different world line than our main, the console games do. However, that's one thing we need to just remember, because there's going to be an event at the end of Union Cross that will absolutely devastate our minds, because again, we can probably already guess how they're going to get to the other world line, but there's still a lot of answers we don't necessarily know or have because we haven't seen it yet. We know that obviously Ventus, Laurium, and all of them end up coming to this world line, but it's strange that they don't remember anything to do with their past. Ventus doesn't remember being a Union leader, even we know that too because, well, one, he's never brought it up and he acts like a total novice, but at the same time too, it wouldn't make any sense because his Cheertheus says he doesn't remember either. And obviously things just wouldn't make sense with whatever Larxene and Marluxia are doing too if they knew they were Keyblade wielders back then too. It just wouldn't make any sense. When we know that what they're going to be doing is very important, because in Kingdom Hearts 3 they talk about them being tied to the ancient Keyblade legacy. But at the end of the day, again, we don't know the event that will actually take place at the end of Union Cross until that time gets here. But as you know, something is going to happen that's going to cause them to lose their memory of what happened back then. That way we can end up getting the correct events from the past that we already know about. But it's not even just that too. If you want to go and talk forward too, the Secret Report, those of you guys that don't know what the Secret Reports are first and foremost, because I didn't even actually mention that, but the Secret Reports are basically a collection of letters written by people throughout Kingdom Hearts 3. Though not all of them are specifically written by characters we see in Kingdom Hearts 3, but they're the most up-to-date thoughts of some of these characters. And I think that's what really important here, because with the way Kingdom Hearts does storytelling, I feel like sometimes it can be very, very complex. But I feel like it's not in the way that you probably think I'm referring to here. Kingdom Hearts' storytelling is complex, and as if that's surprising anybody. But at the same time, it's very, very simple if you just play the game. But at the same time, it's more like the way they present it is complex, but actually experiencing it is simple. And I feel like when doing it this way, you have to essentially stay on the straight and narrow. And by what I mean by this, I'll give you an example. Think of Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep was one of those games that expanded the story and lore of the Kingdom Hearts series, arguably more than any other game did. But what is really important here, if you look at the Xehanort reports the Xehanort reports that are completely optional for you to actually read in that game, the story of Birth by Sleep, which is broken up into 3 separate stories, alongside the final episode and secret episode. However, they never really stopped to question, why is Xehanort doing these things? Of course, us having played future games, we know why Xehanort did this, but at the time, the main story didn't focus on why Xehanort was doing these things, or why he wanted this and why he wanted that, but it just focused on what he was doing. Again, it's not important why Xehanort wants to take over Terra's body, but that's what he was doing. And it's more like, again, we don't have time to question, this man is out here starting a war and we got to do something about it. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. But the fact that they didn't just leave us wondering, just for a future game to answer, they already gave us supplementary material through the Xehanort reports that if you do want to know this kind of thing, the story didn't need to take its attention away from what Xehanort was doing, so we can go on our own and see why he was doing these things. It reinforces the story. That's why I don't like some of those games that do so much of the important story of games through these collectible materials. I don't really care for that kind of thing. I don't like finding the story through that way. I rather the story be presented through me as I do the main campaign and not need supplementary material. Again, you don't need to know why Xehanort is doing these things, but at the end of the day, knowing what he was doing was probably their main focus, as again, it's not even really that arguable because that's literally what they did. But that's kind of my example about what the Secret Reports is doing. And again, like I said, I've recorded this video like 4 different times, and honestly, these videos were completely different. So, especially since this video was unscripted and being out of town, it was a nightmare and a half. So again, I apologize for having you guys go so long without a video. But I'm doing my best here. Hopefully you guys do decide to check out the Secret Reports. If you haven't already, you guys can go and collect them in Kingdom Hearts 3 if you'd like, but it might just be easier because it's been so long and some of you guys might not feel like it. You guys can always just watch my video on reading the Secret Reports out to you. So go ahead and start cooking, grab a snack, something, and go ahead and give that a watch if you haven't already. But if you guys have, did you guys enjoy the Secret Reports? Have you guys read through the Secret Reports since Melody of Memory has come out? With that new material that we have out for phase 2, the things that we read before might make a little more sense now that we have new material to go off of. But let me know down in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ace, and remember, my warriors of courage, to stay strong, stay beautiful, and always look skyward.